Hey guys, it's Emily. Welcome back to my channel. I have been overwhelmed with my beauty collection and I've been contemplating decluttering it some more, and I do have a whole playlist, and I know I no longer want to be a beauty channel. So I really want to tackle my beauty collection. I no longer have a beauty channel. I no longer work at Sephora. I don't have a desire to wear crazy colorful eye looks on a daily, so I just don't have the need for a lot of the makeup that I have. And so I want to go through it and really be cutthroat and probably get rid of at least half. Right now, it's just chaos in my drawers. It's just overwhelming, and I use the same stuff every single day. So it's definitely not going to go down to like a minimalist type of makeup collection, but hopefully it will be a lot smaller. And that's what I'm going to tackle today. I will be doing a separate video for my skincare because right now my skincare stuff is just everywhere and I really need to tackle that too. So stay tuned for that video. So I'm going to share with you what I have currently. I obviously did not plan this video at all because it's a mess, but let's just take a look. So here's the top drawer. I hate this dresser, by the way, but it's what came with the unit and it just looks crappy, so excuse the dresser. But this is a lot of, like, look at it, it's just like a mess. On top we just have stuff. We have like this area here. It just looks crazy. I have another drawer here which has like some brand new stuff and a lot of my palette. I don't even know, is there anything in this drawer? Oh, this is just some like random crap. And again, new stuff right there, but I think that's mostly skincare. And then in this drawer is just like empties that I was keeping, but I'm just gonna get rid of them. I have nothing in there, and then just some props for our filming. So yeah, let's just go through this. Let's see what we can do. So as always, I'm going to do it by category, so that way I can have it a little bit more organized. And before we get started, if you are new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around and like this video if you enjoyed it. Yeah, let's just get started. I'm going to break these up into categories and we will get started. Okay, so we are starting off with concealers just because they're all right here. I know I am keeping my Glossier one because this is my favorite one. It's just a good color for me. I really enjoy it. And I know I'm going to get rid of both of these. We have the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Concealer, and then I have ColourPop. ColourPop is just too heavy for me. I just don't enjoy it. It wasn't a project pan, but since I'm not doing them anymore, I'm just going to get rid of it because I don't really care for it. And then I have this Flower Beauty one, which is the wrong shade for me, so this is just going to go. And then I have this julep thing that is one of those, I mean, it has decent coverage, but it's more for like brightening underneath the eyes. I just don't like it because it has one of those like sponge tip applicators that I'm just not a fan of, so this is gonna go. So I am just keeping one concealer. Off to a good start. I do have to apologize if the camera goes out of focus. I can't really see from here and it's a little further away, so if it's out of focus I apologize, but I do have two setting sprays. I don't use them. If I do use them, I usually use the Flower Beauty one just because the mist is so fine. It's just like one that really melts your makeup together. So I will keep the Flower Beauty one, but the primer water I had gotten during the 21 Days of Beauty, and I had gotten it like half off or something like that. I like it. I just don't use it, so this is gonna find a better home. I also have to apologize for Oliver. He is playing right next to me, so if you hear like thumping and such, it's just him. He's at least being entertained, so we all just have to deal. Let's go into primers. So a lot of them are very similar. They're all like illuminating primers. So we have like Physicians Formula Spotlight, Flower Illuminating Luminizer from Dr. Brandt. We have Julep's Illuminating Primer. And then we have hydrating ones like the Smashbox Primerizer. We have the Becca First Light Priming Filter, and then NYX. So I obviously like hydrating type primers. And then I do have like this green one, which was a free gift. This one is still in its packaging sealed, so I'm going to get rid of this one. It's green, and I just don't have a ton of redness right now, so I just don't need it. I forgot I also have this one from YSL. This is the Touche Éclat. I just don't really like it, so this is gonna go. Out of the hydrating ones, I love the primerizer from Smashbox. This one is in plastic packaging, but I do want to use it up because I love it. This NYX one, I just don't care to reach for. It has nothing to do with the quality or anything like that. I just don't reach for it, and so this is gonna go. And then the First Light priming filter, I again got it during the 21 Days of Beauty from Ulta, and I just don't pick it up. I've had it for like 6 months and I've used it maybe once, so I'm just gonna keep the one that I enjoy for hydration. And now let's just take a quick look at these. This one here works really well from Physicians Formula. It's similar to the Backlight priming filter from Becca. I just don't reach for it. Again, I just don't need that much light on my face, so this one I don't see a need for. I didn't really care for the Dr. Brandt. It kind of sat weird on my skin, so I'm not going to keep that one. Let me check these two because they're both pretty new to me. As you can see, they're different colors. The Flower Beauty one is like a peach. And then the white one is the julep one. They're both pretty. Once blended in, they both look relatively the same. Once dry, the julep one has like a matte feel to it. And it doesn't look like it's super brightening, where the Flower Beauty one actually does feel really soft on the skin. And I can still see light, so I am going to keep the Flower Beauty one, and then the julep one I'm going to pass on. So I'm feeling pretty good about myself because I am only keeping 2, the Smashbox and the Flower Beauty, and then I am parting ways with 7. This is amazing, so I'm very happy with that. So here are my foundations. I like some foundations that look like my skin, nothing super matte, nothing super full coverage. And I definitely can see some things I'm getting rid of. I'm hoping to get rid of half of them because this is too many foundations. I know they'll expire before I even use them up. So I am going to part ways with this Glossier one. It doesn't have too much left, and I don't enjoy the finish on its own. I feel like I can see my skin, but you can still see the makeup, so I just don't need this. Next we have this mixture here, which is the It Cosmetics CC Cream with the Glossier. I used this a ton during my trip, and it's almost empty, so I am just gonna get rid of it. I have 2 of these Bare Minerals ones, and one is just not quite my shade. Let me see which one it is. It's this one. So I am going to get rid of Birch, which is 1.5, and I will keep number 2. I do like this. It's really hydrating and looks like my skin has SPF 30, and it wears really well for the day, so I will keep this one. The Physicians Formula one, I enjoy the finish, and it has a great wear time, and it looks beautiful. I hate that it has a giant doe foot for the applicator, so I just don't reach for it. So I'm going to get rid of this one. I am going to keep this Flower Beauty one though. Their Light Illusion foundation is beautiful. This is easily my favorite foundation at the moment, so I will be keeping that. I mean, it looks and feels like high-end. It performs well, it looks beautiful on the skin. It's fantastic. So if you like that type of formula, this one is really great and it's really affordable, so I highly recommend that one. We are down to 4. The number 7 one is extremely old. I want to say it's around 3 years old now. I don't know what the amount of months it is, but oh, it looks like it's like separating weird, so this is gonna go. This one actually is expired. The e.l.f. one, let me see. I feel like this one never looks quite right. Like the shade is just a little off, and you can see it, yeah. Like the shade is just a little off. I'm gonna get rid of the e.l.f. one. This Smashbox one I really enjoy, and if I do want a lot more of a wear time, I use this one. Just because I live in southern Mississippi. It's hot and humid, so sometimes I need a little bit more staying power, so I will keep this one. And then this Anastasia stick, I just don't use, so I'm going to get rid of this one. So I am only keeping 3 foundations, which is fantastic. They are all extremely different too. I have a tinted moisturizer, something that's light coverage, just looks really like my skin. We have something that is a little bit more of a medium coverage foundation, but again, looks like my skin, really beautiful. And then I have one that's more for long wear, and it has a little bit higher of a coverage. This is absolutely perfect. I'm glad I'm just keeping 3, and I'm getting rid of 6. Which is way more than half. Next we have powders. Oh, I have these powders as well. Ooh, okay. Next we have some powders. We have 2 loose and then some pressed ones. The e.l.f. one has been a long time favorite, but I have decided I enjoy the Flower Beauty one more. I do have two because I originally got the darker one and it just isn't a match for me, so this one is going. But I am keeping this one here, which is in the shade Porcelain. It's a little fair for me right now, but I know it was going to work for me once my tan goes away, so I am going to keep that one. And then I am going to pass along, or I probably just discard this e.l.f. one. I obviously has had a lot of love, but this one is a little bit more invisible on the skin, so I do prefer this one. And then for my setting powders, I don't use them all that often. I have been really enjoying this Flower Beauty one. It's giant though, like look how big this is. This Cover FX one I enjoy too, so I am going to keep both. I know I could probably have gotten rid of one because they look similar on the skin, but I like both of them and I just can't justify just getting rid of one because of a number. So I'm going to keep both and I'm going to keep my Flower Beauties. Now let's go into other complexion stuff. So we have blush, bronzer, and highlight. Let's start off with palettes. This is going to be a hard one for me because they're all pretty new. I'm just going to have to think color-wise and formula-wise whether or not I like them. The Flower Beauty Highlighting Trio is awesome. It's really, if you want a stunning highlight, this is a good palette. However, that's a look I normally don't go for, and I also don't like how it has the brush in it because it makes it really bulky. So I am going to part ways with this guy. Out of these two, I like the colors in the e.l.f. one, but I spent so much money on the Too Faced one and I still really enjoy it and it smells amazing and it just makes me happy. So I am going to part ways with the e.l.f. one, but that does not say it's awful quality. It's more, I only want to keep one and I want to get more use out of this one versus this one. Also, I don't like that there's two peach colors because on my complexion they look the same. So I just don't need this, but this is a good option. But I do want to still see if I get more use out of this one. I am going to keep it. I also like bringing this one when I travel. So let's go through highlights. I have all these like blinding highlights, but I could probably count on one hand how many times I've used a blinding highlight within the past 6 months. There's no need for me to have 8 because I don't use half of them. So again, I at least want to cut this in half and we will just get started with the J-Cats one. Absolutely beautiful. Again, blinding highlight. Definitely an amazing affordable option. Like it performs like high end. I just don't use it. So this is gonna go. Wet n Wild, again, beautiful. This has like a pinkish tint to it, which does not work with my complexion, so this is gonna go too. Another Wet n Wild one, which is really, really lovely. It's like from their mermaid collection. It has like a greenish hue to it and it is beautiful. But again, I just don't use it. In the package feels like it's going to break at any second, so this is gonna go. Feeling good, feeling good. This opal one from Becca keeps ending up in my collection. It always comes as like a free gift, and the color just doesn't work for me, so this is gonna go as well. Mary Luminizer is beautiful, and I have kept this in so many different declutters, and I don't remember the last time I've used it. It's absolutely gorgeous. It was one of my first high-end highlights, and I feel like I have like an emotional attachment to it, but I just don't use it. And so this one, I'm gonna say goodbye to her. I love the NYX #NoFilter. It's more like a lighting, it's more like a highlight for all over the face because it's very, very subtle, similar to Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powders, but a lot more affordable, so I am keeping this one. I'm also going to keep this Lily Lolo one because this is a lot more subtle, and when you look at it, it looks very similar to the NYX one. It's just like a good everyday highlight. They are also a very eco-friendly brand. And then I have this Laura Geller one, which is newer to me, and I had purchased it online for like half off. I don't know, what do you think? I feel like I want to use this one a little bit before I decide, so I'm keeping 3 and I'm getting rid of 5. Nope, I'm getting rid of the Laura Geller one. I'm like looking at my hand and it's just a little bit too pink for me, so I'm just getting rid of this one too. So I'm getting rid of 6, keeping 2. That's amazing. So here are bronzers, and a lot of them are newer to me. So we'll see how many I get rid of. I do use bronzer like every day, so first we have Becca. This is the Sunlit Bronzer in Bronzed Bondi, and this has like a reddish tint to it, which does not work for me. It kind of makes me look a little sunburnt, so this is gonna go. This Too Faced one, this is the Sweetheart Bronzer. It's really pretty, so let me think about that one. This one, this is a all-natural brand, which is from Han, and they have a lot of like really good skincare ingredients within their cosmetics. So they have vitamin E and fruit oils and such like that. It also has cocoa powder in it, and this is amazing. It's a newer thing for me, and I have not been putting it down. I absolutely love this bronzer. I feel like that's how I should feel for all the bronzers that I keep. So this one is a must. I love this one. It's tiny, but it's amazing. This Antonym one I really adore as well. It is really glowy, and I feel since these ones are similar in finish, I just really love this one. I love this one. This one is good, but if I'm like wishy-washy, I should get rid of it, right? So I'll keep the Antonym one, get rid of the Too Faced. And then Park Ave Princess Bronzer I enjoy as well, and this one's waterproof, so it's definitely a must because it rains every single day here, so I like this one. And then this one is a stick one from Julep. Let me see, it's the Cream to Powder Blush Stick in Warm Bronze. And it's a little bit, as you can see, a little bit too orange, so I'm going to get rid of this. So I am still keeping 3, but they're all pretty different. We have a matte bronzer, which, oh, so good. We have more of a glowy bronzer, which is actually a baked foundation, just to let you know, but it's in a wrong shade, but it works as a bronzer. And then we have a waterproof bronzer, and I'm still getting rid of half, so that feels amazing. You know what, guys? I am going to get rid of the Park Ave Princess Bronzer. It's absolutely gorgeous, but when I'm looking at the colors compared to this one, I like the shade of this one a little bit more. It's a little bit more closer to my skin tone, so the bronzer doesn't look as noticeable. Where this one, it looks like I really tried and have bronzer all over my face. So I am going to keep these two completely different bronzers. This feels so good, and yeah, I'm doing that. I also remembered that I have a bronzer in here too, so I definitely have some options. So here are my blushes, and I did keep the palette out so I could compare shades in case there's something similar. Don't want to keep like loose shades if I can use one from the palette. I'm also really excited about this palette because if I do want a very blinding highlight, I have options right here, so that's awesome. So first we have this one from Hourglass. This is in Brilliant Nudes, and it's just a beautiful one. It's just beautiful, so I love this one. I also love Mood Exposure. These are my favorite blushes. Really have been loving this one. Again, the brand is Han, H-A-N. I'll leave them down below if I can find them, but they just, it's so easy to blend. It looks beautiful, it looks very natural. I love this, and this is in the shade Glory. And then this one is the Baked Blush in Peach from Antonym. Absolutely adore this one, and the packaging is amazing, so I'm keeping this one too. Alright, I need to get a little bit more Cutthroat. This one from Julep is beautiful, but it's messy, so this one's gonna go. This one from Milani, again, beautiful. I just don't reach for it. It's a little bit too bright for me. And this is in Luminoso. I know it's a cult favorite. It's just, I prefer the one from Antonym more, and so I'd rather use that one than this one. This one from Becca is too dark, so this one's gonna go. This one from Flower Beauty is beautiful, but it's like the same exact shade as this one here in the Too Faced palette, so I'm gonna just get rid of this guy. Next we have this one from Juice Beauty, and I was originally going to declutter it the last time, but I actually have been using it a lot recently, so I will keep this one. And then I am going to pass along the Julep one that's a stick form. I just don't use it, so this is going to go. So I am keeping 4 and then 1 cream one here, and I am getting rid of 5, so I'm cutting it in half, which is awesome. And when I look at them, they're all very wearable. I could pick up any one of these and be extremely happy with my blush that day. So happy with this that I was able to cut it again in half. I am going to stop this video here just so I don't have an extremely long video. I know this is going to be pretty lengthy anyways, but stay tuned for part 2. Hopefully it's up right after this one. This basket here is all the stuff that I am decluttering, which is crazy, and this is all the stuff that I am keeping. I know it's not like an extreme minimalist collection, but I easily cut it in half, which is awesome. And I'll give you a final update at the end of the decluttering process. So we will just stop it here. Thank you for tuning in for this video. Stay tuned for part 2, and I will see you in a minute.